Evening. How you doing? Hope you're doing well, Seatown. Living the dream. Our 4-year-old had a stomach bug last night. That was a lot of fun. She, after getting sick, she turns to me. She's like, Daddy, this isn't fun. She's like, God damn it. You are absolutely right, and I feel horrible. Hey, doggy. Actually, what she said was, Daddy, I'm sad. This isn't fun. We'll start in just a minute or so. I hope your 3-year-old's doing better, Seatown. I should probably, one sec. There we go. Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are going to be taking a, not really a first look, we played this game on the channel quite a bit, but a post-mortem look at Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, a game by Game Labs, the now largely defunct Game Labs, which had its final release at the end of 2024 before all of the company people were laid off by their parent company, Stillfront, and now some of them are off doing other projects. But I did want to take a look at the game in its final state. I do like this concept of game. I've played a fair bit of Rule the Waves as well, which I think inspired this game to be like, hey, what if Rule the Waves, but with graphics? And so I wanted to take a final look. Last year in January, I did one video as a start of an Italian campaign and then got sidetracked and never came back. So we're going to do an Italian campaign. That save has long since been deleted, though. So we're going to have to start from a new game or a new save. Paul, you're not familiar with Rule the Waves? It's basically Out of the Park Baseball, but for naval ships and design. But like before Out of the Park Baseball had any on baseball field activities, literally like a spreadsheet simulator. They've got some very basic 2D graphs, but or graphics. But I enjoy that game, and at some point we will take a look at it. They've recently released a new, or their first DLC for Rule the Waves 3. But today we're going to be starting a game for Ultimate Admiral, which is, like I said, Rule the Waves, but with graphics, or tries to be Rule the Waves. I'm not sure it ever lived up to it. We're playing as Italy here. You can see, obviously, the Italian peninsula, Sardinia, Sicily. Those are our possessions. We also do have small African holdings in Eritrea and Italian Somaliland. We have designed our fleet. We designed our starting fleet off the screen, of course, because this is the first you're seeing of this. But let's go ahead and take a look at the ships that are in our fleet. We have 1 battleship class, 2 cruiser classes, and a torpedo boat class. The battleship is the Re Umberto, which was the historical ironclad battleship class, which was being built around this time period. They had their first pre-dreadnought design a few years later, but this really is a pre-dreadnought design. It's not an ironclad battleship. It is a pre-dreadnought design, just using that ironclad name. The Italian shipyards have a 9,500 ton limit to start, so pretty limited shipbuilding facilities, but that does drive a lot of decisions for us. I probably didn't need to go a 7,200 kilometer range. That's pretty long for a battleship of this era. I could have gone with less, but we did go with a heavy range, 7,200 kilometers. Many bulkheads, so hopefully it's resistant to damage. 18.5 knots, which is a pretty good speed for a battleship of this era. Not blazing fast, but certainly not like crawling slow. Pretty standard. Crew quarters, standard. Most of the tech here is all kind of very basic: coal, fuel, natural boilers, steam basic engines, semi-rudder balance, steam steering. Compound armor with Citadel 1, max HE shell, or sorry, we went with heavy shells, hydraulic or enhanced reloading. We did have a couple torpedoes. 8-inch main armor belt with a 3-inch fore and aft, and then a deck armor of 1.7. I don't know that deck armor is super relevant in this area. You're not going to get a ton of plunging fire hits, but it is what it is. Also, I didn't see any options for fire control now that I think about it. I don't know if it's just like too early. There's no equipment tab here yet, so I guess maybe it's just too early history-wise to have that stuff on here. We have two 11-inch guns, 2 aft and 2 double turrets. So we went with 11-inch guns. It seemed like the right balance of weight and capabilities without sabotaging too much armor elsewhere. We have 16 5-inch guns in the casemates. That's 8 on each side along here on the side of the ship. You can kind of see them jutting out there. And then we've got 8 3-inch guns on the ship. And those are all sort of above deck. I've got like this, like, I don't know what this part of the ship is, but up near the bridge, you've got 2 1 fore, 1 aft. 2 fore, 2 aft. These two here on the edges were like pre-built hard stands where they could go. These second guns are actually, they're just freeform placed. And it seemed like the fire arc for all of these guns were unimpacted. So I hope having these two side by side like this is giving us better defense against torpedo boats, because that's really where the 3-inch guns will come in. And I wasn't happy with only having 2 of them per broadside. So now we have 4 of them per broadside as well. So that's the Rio Umberto class. I did not design an armored cruiser because for the life of me, I don't understand the whole that they have decided the 1890 armored cruisers are going to be. They got like a 4,500 ton or 4,000 ton limit, which means you can't even fit like more than one funnel, and it's like a small one on the damn thing. And it just seems like it's a worthless endeavor to build an armored cruiser with the limitations that you have in place. So I figured the battleship is relatively cheap in this era. We're going to go with the battleship. We're going to, forego having an armored cruiser, which could come back to bite us. But until I get better designs, I just don't see the need. Actually, historically, Italy didn't get an armored cruiser for 3 or 4 years. Interestingly enough, our fleet feels much larger than the Italian fleet, or much more capable in any event than the Italian fleet was at this period historically. The game's starting fleets usually make them smaller, like especially if you're the British, it's way smaller than the historical fleet. But at least in our case, it's not. So let's take a look at our 2 light cruisers. They're 2 very different expenses, 4.8 and 2.6 million. We've got the Etna class, which is in name only based on a historical design. I like doing gun cruisers. That's what she is. She can make 21.3 knots, 8,000 kilometers range. So it seems like it'd be a good commerce raider. Many bulkheads, so hopefully good resistance to damage. And then most of the other stuff, very light armor belt. Again, she's a light cruiser, so protected cruiser, I guess, for this era. 2-inch main belt, and then less than half an inch of deck armor, 2.5 on the conning tower. Mostly it'll just protect against splinters in a lot of those cases. We have 4 5-inch guns and turrets, 2 fore, 2 aft, in these kind of like side-by-side turrets, which is not that uncommon. Maybe not as large as 5-inch. I think the Germans usually did 4. But having side-by-side forward-facing turrets is actually kind of common in this era, or at least not uncommon in this era of ship. And then we went with 8 4-inch guns along the broadside with shield mounts. And then we have 4 2-inch guns in these casemates here along the side of the hull. So nice little rapid firing platform, good, or I would say decent sized guns for a light cruiser of this era. And then 4 underwater torpedo tubes, 2 amidships, 1 fore, 1 aft. Then we have the Goyotio class, which is the other light cruiser class. It uses a different hull. So the Etna class is sort of a standard light cruiser hull. The Giotto is a torpedo cruiser. So she's a bit of a different design. She has 12 4-inch guns. Might actually be a better gun platform than the other one, with a standardized battery all along the side. So similar design philosophy, a lot of funnels, and the engine efficiency is still abysmal. But you can see these guns all along the side. 4 2-inch guns in the hull on the casemates, and then 8 underwater torpedo tubes. Her hull uses a torpedo cruiser design, so considerably lighter in terms of tonnage, less than 1,800 tons. Her speed is slightly better at 22 knots, and then just another pretty heavy gun platform. $2 million less, 1,200 tons smaller for her. So she kind of plays more of like a destroyer type role. And then we've got the Partenope torpedo boat design, which is, I always struggle with torpedo boats in this era. The hulls don't seem really well suited to them. And so I like to do this where we've got a broadside mount, 1 torpedo on each side of the hull, 4, and then after the funnels. And then the pitch is terrible. I didn't realize that till now. So, oh boy, that's a flawed design. But in any event, we've got 2 funnels, 4 torpedo tubes. You can do a broadside of 2, then you quickly swing around and do a broadside of the other 2 before you ultimately get sunk. 27 knots isn't very fast. It would ideally be faster. A little bit worried about that pitch, that 87% pitch. What is that going to do to accuracy at all? I don't know. Hopefully we don't find out. But yeah. So that is those are the designs we have. The fleet we have is a pretty good one. Again, no armored cruisers. We went way more. Historically, the Umberto class only had 3 battleships in it. We went with 7 because that's what I could afford more, but I decided not to. We went with the Etna class cruisers. Does it tell me? We've got 1, 2. Oh my God. I hate the pop-ups or the thumbnails in this, or whatever, the tooltips. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we've got 13 Etna class cruisers, those heavier cruisers, a little bit slower. And then we've got the remainder, which is how many, so 13 are the Etnas, and then we've got 10 of the Giotto torpedo cruisers, and then we've got 38 torpedo boats. Perhaps, Paul, perhaps. So that's the starting fleet that we have to deal with. I feel like we're reasonably well situated right now. If we look politically, the countries around us, Austria-Hungary has 34 ships in their fleet. We've got over 60. They've got 5 battleships. We have 7. They do have 11 armored cruisers to our 0, so they've got a 9-ship advantage there if you count 2 of our battleships against the armored cruisers. But in a stand-up fight, I like our odds as long as we're not against their whole fleet of heavy ships there. They also only have 8 light cruisers and 10 torpedo boats. So even if we end up in a fight where we're outgunned, our lighter ships may have a reasonable chance of getting in and torpedoing those bastards before they can get at us. The Spanish Empire also only has 31 ships, only 1 battleship, 8 armored cruisers. So our 7 battleships and no armored cruisers, I would say that's a pretty good setup. 1 battleship to 8 armored cruisers for 7 battleships. I'll take the 7 battleships. They have 16 light cruisers. We've got more of that. We've got 30 torpedo boats, and they've got 6. So I like our odds in a conflict at the start against the Spanish Empire. And then the other probably big, at least local threat, other countries can go to war with you, but the local threat are the French. Much bigger challenge for them. But surprisingly, they only have 2 battleships. So they do have 13 armored cruisers, but the 5 battleship advantage for us cuts into that lead a little bit. I'm kind of using armored cruisers and battleships as proxies because they both kind of punch hard. Where they really kind of even things out, obviously they've got more armored cruisers than us, so in a stand-up fight, it could go either way. They also have 24 light cruisers, so pretty evenly matched there. They've got 24 torpedo boats, and they've got considerably more resources and funding and things like that. I also think technology-wise, they have an ability perhaps to get ahead of us. We're not going to talk about the British. If I try and fight them, we're doomed. Let's not do that. The Germans, a little bit smaller of a fleet than the French, but heavier on the heavy stuff, so they kind of skimp on the torpedo boats and light cruisers. Their hull count is a little misleading. I think they're a much bigger threat. Big advantage we have if we get into a war with Germany is just the geography means we probably would never face the entirety of their fleet, unlike potentially France, unlike certainly Austria-Hungary or Spain. So that's the situation, but that's what we see here. Research-wise, Italy is kind of behind. tech-wise usually in this game. I am emphasizing hull construction because I can make a real big difference here. You know, you have these fleet priorities, which sometimes you do or don't want to do, because if I emphasize hull construction, which is 48 months, and get it down to 27 months. However, that 21 month saving is going to come out of it in other areas. We may see a slackening on, you know, if I click here, you can see 8 months on engines. I click here, it's 9 months. So we lose a month there. Could influence other areas more dramatically, but you know, it does cost something to prioritize. I do want to see if we can get a better cruiser design. I don't know what's coming next, but if we can get a better armored cruiser hull, that would be great because I would love to build those. So I'm going to focus on armored cruisers and hull design. We'll leave the third priority open so that way we can kind of more evenly balance out our research in other areas. We take a look here. We do have a little bit of balance. We've got $93 million in the bank. We are negative $5 million right now. We take a look at the finances. A big part of that is I have buffed transport capacity up to 100%. My understanding, at least in theory, of how this is supposed to work is this should give you economic benefits if your transport capacity exceeds 100%. Can like help stimulate GDP growth and other things like that. So I usually fund that as much as I can. I also have the tech budget set at 50%, which is, I'd like it to be higher, but if it's 100%, it would cost us over 80 million a turn. I obviously can't do that. And then we've also got the crew training at 25%. We're at peace. I don't want my true crew to go totally green, but I also don't really want to, like spend lavishly to start when it seems unlikely that we're going to end up in a war immediately. We could also, if we go to the fleet here, I have most of them based out of La Spezia, especially the big ships. I could also choose some of these guys to be like, can I mothball, like, or not mothball, but we could, well, I can only mothball. I can't like deactivate them. I don't really want to mothball them. No. Can I not undo that? That's weird. I can have them set to limited state, but I'm not sure why mothballing is. Maybe I just need to end the turn or something to get them unmothballed. You probably have to spend money, but you can see it cut into the balance, the negative balance. Whatever, let's go one turn. Fleet affect bilateral relations as follows. Western Mediterranean versus the British Empire. Okay. Okay, so these are affecting relations. No other updates there. Suez Canal is accessible for our ships during peacetime. But the Ottomans can block it during war. It's interesting the Ottomans would be able to block it. Same for the Bosphorus Strait and the Dardanelles and the Danish and the Øresund and the Singapore Strait and the Strait of Gibraltar. Denmark signed a special alliance and trade agreement with the British Empire. Argentina with the United States. Chief Admiral Liu Sheng of the Chinese Empire's effort to improve relations with us have failed. The following nations have lost their homeland but strongly seek an opportunity to reemerge. Korea. Who has Korea right now? I assume it's just a starting event. Well, it says they're there. It says they're the Korean Empire, so I don't know what the deal with that is. Can I go and like unmothball those ships that I just mothballed? I don't really want them mothballed. I'm confused why they're stuck on mothball. What out? Select ships, press mothball to completely remove the crew from this ship. This action helps minimize maintenance. Oh, so all it did was remove the crew. Okay, well, we're gonna put them all back on there, and then they won't be. Oh, they're gonna take 2 months to commission. Okay, well, that was a waste of time and money, but whatever. Commissioning, and now we're negative $6 million because we got to spend $2 million probably a turn to like get them back to their ship. Cool. There might be a mod that makes the Ottomans playable. I know there are some mods. They don't have workshop enabled. I haven't really looked into what the mods are, but I know they exist. So, hey, Hauser, how you doing? All right, so let's, I guess, just keep going. There's no reason, I don't think, to build anything at the moment. I am expanding my shipyard capacity, by the way. So we had the 9,000 ton limit. I'm building an additional shipyard to 13,500 tons. So we're expanding it by 4,000. That will take like 2 years, but that's a pretty important expansion. 9,500 tons is really limiting for any kind of battleship. Tech wise, it doesn't make sense to build new battleships until we get new tech. So it's fine to not be building anything there, I think, for a little bit. So I guess let's just kind of jump ahead a few months. Ooh, those big drum beats. Interesting news, sir. Austria-Hungary's empire warns the head of the Admiralty, Franz von Trapp, for his excessive naval expenditures. He may soon be replaced if he continues to underperform. Interesting news, sir. Empire of Japan warns the head of Admiralty, Koga Yoshimiru, for his excessive naval expenditures. He may soon be replaced if he continues to underperform. Okay. New technology, 3,500 ton light cruiser allows the construction of a light cruiser up to 3,500 tons. So that's an extra 500 tons beyond what the current limit was. And Romania signed an alliance with Italy. That's interesting. Enhanced economy via trade. Romania's ports can be used to supply centers, can sell warships to Romania, and can utilize ships of the Romanian fleet during a war. USA is fighting Costa Rica. Man. All right. So I guess our economy is a little bit better now. Those ships that were being mothballed are no longer mothballed. And they're back to the fleet. They're back to the active fleet. I could just not mothball them, but change their readiness status from in being to limited. It reduces the amount of tensions caused to rival nations. Crew training progress is severely penalized. It'll be more difficult to keep your ships in good training levels. I'm not spending enough, I don't think, to keep my crews trained at good levels. So it'll save us 200K. We've got 79 months worth of our current finances. I assume the economy will grow a little bit as well. You can see transport capacities up from 100% to 117%. Okay. The people of Suriname take up arms to gain control of Suriname that is currently occupied by the Netherlands. But where? Is it here? No. I don't know. The Iowa class is being built. The U.S. is selling the Iowa class to Argentina. For shame. Thank you for the sub. All right. Well, in any event, what's the research look like? We got the cruiser. I think I'm going to keep focusing on cruiser design because I really want more cruiser hulls. Hull strengthening in 1 month, engines in 6 months. We'll get triple expansion steam engines in 6 months. That is where it might make sense to design a new ship. Triple expansion engines are much better. I think they're much lighter too. Everybody's spending so much money on their Navy except for me, apparently. New structural steel. Better hull form. Resistance. Hull weight is reduced. Okay, we are now positive monthly balance. How's everybody else doing fleet-wise? Anybody else building a bunch of ships? Germany's building 15. France is building 20. Do we have bad relations with anybody? Good. 10 with the British, 10 with the French, 33 with the Germans, 4 with the US, 15 with the Russians, 32 with... The only people who kind of don't like us are the Chinese. And they're the only ones I have no interest in fighting. What about Spain? What are they doing? Should we start, like, pissing them off? Wow, they're going to go to war with the US. -70. Yeah. Let's try and piss off these Spanish and see what happens. Chinese Empire sent us an ultimatum demanding financial compensation for our discovered acts of espionage. What? What espionage? No. No. Refuse. I'll get -5 unrest and +5 prestige. The government is interested to know if you could guarantee a victory over the Chinese in an upcoming war. Guarantee is a tough word, but I think so. The problem is we don't have a base to operate out of against them. So I can get an increase in my naval budget. That'll hurt GDP. Increase unrest. Hurt prestige, lower unrest, improve relations. Hurt GDP. I don't want to hurt GDP. Just yes, and I don't need more money. Why can't we just say that? Oh, Japan's provoking us? Meanwhile, my attempt to piss off the Spanish succeeded. Although it did hurt unrest and naval prestige. France's attack against the Ottoman Empire caused a major disturbance. And the United States took Costa Rica. So our prestige is to 0. We were -3 before. I don't really want to fight the Chinese just because I don't have much that can get there. That's where having the armored cruisers would help. They're building 13 ships. I was just assuming I could crush them easily, but maybe not. I'd have to base a lot of stuff out of like Mogadishu and whatever, and I don't have facilities there. Our relations are -23. That's nowhere near war. I really would much rather fight the Spanish. I can't increase tension with them. We'll try and improve relations with the Chinese to head off a conflict there. 4 more months till triple expansion. The Netherlands has a colony in South America at this point? Persia signed a special alliance and trade agreement with Germany. Our relations with China improved considerably, as well as our naval prestige. Good job for me. Oh no, the French are going for Libya. That should be ours. Libya is ours, France. Get your paws off of the Ottomans. Gosh darn it. The Ottomans as a minor power are not someone you can directly provoke. You can get events that cause you to go to war with them, but not like an actual control over it. Huh? Oh, the Austrians improve their relations with us. The people of Libya are taking up arms against the Ottomans? I'm just going to pretend in my own headcanon that they're being funded by the French. The French are also attacking Thailand. That tracks. So, is it an island maybe? That would make sense if it was like a... I didn't realize that this was a Dutch colony at the time somehow. All right. I really should be building ships, right? But I'm just not sure I see any new developments yet that are worth building a new design over. At a press conference, you were asked about recent evidence that foreign espionage targeted our Navy. For the matter, constructed rumor made for national political games. It's all the Chinese fault. Our country has increased its financial growth and tax income is booming. Our prime minister asks your opinion on where to allocate the funds. Invest in industry. Why does all of my money have to go away? I've got 90 million in the bank and that's nice. I would like the GDP increase, but I don't want to give you $70 million. Still, a 2.7% increase in GDP is pretty sizable. I'll do it. I'm not building anything. Romania would like to order one of the Etna-class cruiser. They'll pay 25% in advance, and the rest upon the amount will be paid upon delivery after 10 months, providing a total profit of 83%. Yeah. That sounds great. So does that mean it's being built here? Where does it keep track of that? Or do I have to build it? No, it's automatically building. Okay. Building one ship. My shipyards are probably like, oh my God, thank you. Someone's investing and giving us some business. Reef, yeah. That was this game, right? Constant development and then poof, it's gone. It's like, oh, I can't wait for the next update. Well, there's no more updates. Fuck you, Spain. Give me a war. All right. Research. How we doing? Still 20 months on hull construction. Cruiser design's going real quick with that focus there. Engines, triple expansion next month. Okay, so negative 10% funnel capacity, 60% smoke interference, negative 5 hull cost, negative 2.5 engine weight, 50% engine cost per weight, 35 engine vibrations, 55% of top speed to achieve cruising speed, 10% fuel efficiency, 5% maintenance, 10% fuel storage. Okay. Korea and Japan are allied. Sweden and the United States are allied. Spain's like, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, ha! Romania initiates a major offensive from the province of Romania against Bulgaria. Romania and Bulgaria are fighting? No, Tripotania. You jerks. That was supposed to be an Italian colony. I suppose one day it still will be. Any good late game? I don't know. I don't think there's a way to disable subs big, but maybe there's a mod for it. I don't know. How close are we on the... we're at 40%. Anything else coming soon, research-wise? 6 months on explosives, 6 months on turret mechanism, 10 on control stations. Let's just get to the end of the year. Keep trying to piss off Spain as much as we can. The British took Uruguay? The Monroe Doctrine is dead. Greece and Austria-Hungary are allied. Romania would like to order one of our torpedo boats. Yes. They're the only guys keeping anyone employed. So the Netherlands held their colony. The British failed in Eastern Samoa. Jordan is fighting for independence against... I don't understand. What's the point of Jordan here? Just because, like, they've got no coast. I can't do anything with that. Okay. 3 more months. What are we getting? Yes! 4,500 ton heavy cruiser. I don't know if that makes a meaningful difference, but I'll take it. When is that done? 3 months, and then maybe we'll design a ship. Maybe then we will design a ship. Everybody's allying to the Germans. Yes, I will gladly sell you 3 more torpedo boats. All the money, please. The Romanians are building a fleet. 5 ships all being constructed in Italian yards. Okay, Russia's strengthening relations with us. The United States has attacked Chile. Dear God. Ottomans put down the rebellion in Transjordan. I've got a pretty healthy monthly balance. I may want to increase training or something. 4,500 ton armored cruiser. Sweden and Norway are fighting. All right, let's go take a look at our ship designs here. New design. I don't know that it's large enough to make a difference. I guess we'll see. Armored cruiser 1. Well, there's a semi-armored cruiser, although it still counts as a CL apparently. It still has a 3,500 ton limit. Yeah, I still hate this whole design, this whole layout. The like raised superstructure for the fore and aft funnels means there's no room, or fore and aft towers means there's no room in here at all for a funnel. Maybe there's a way to like fuck with the beam or something. Doesn't really seem to make a difference. Just raises or lowers the frustrating. The Dreadnought Improvement Project. I'll have to take a look at that, Ruff. I've never really looked or seen any of the mods. Let's see if it's worthwhile doing a design. I don't know if we will, but we'll throw some slop together here. Can't even fit the large intake. It's so frustrating. Well, I could do a small one. Small funnel, 6 funnel capacity. Air intake medium doesn't fit. Air intake small does, but it's a smaller funnel. So, like, why would I build something with 9% engine efficiency? I can slow it down to get up a little bit, but like at that point, if it's like 18.5 knots, which is the battleship thing, it's still 15% engine efficiency. Yeah, but if I decrease the beam here, it doesn't seem to make a difference. If I go all the way down to the bottom, there's a little bit of room side to side, which you used to be able to rotate these. I don't think you can anymore. So maybe you could fit like funnels in that way. I can adjust the engine, sure, but one funnel is still not enough. If we go triple expansion, it'll get it to 19%, which is still disastrously bad. So, I don't know. Can't do forced boilers or anything. Even max draw doesn't make a difference. There's still no room there for another funnel. Yeah, you really need the 5,500 ton cruiser. I just feel like I'm not designing anything, or I'm not building anything. I mean, I guess I could build another Umberto. Get an eighth battleship going here. Just to keep guys employed, keep the industry from collapsing in on itself. Just coming up with nonsense reasons. We've got one other. Huh. All right, it'll take 13 months to build her. Still got cash left. Transport capacity is increasing, which I think is good. Suppose we can increase the tech budget slightly. What's her budget? 6 million surplus. So increase the tech budget to 60%. Gives us a negative 4 million, but I can live with that for a good chunk. Turret mechanisms in a month. I might go 2 years without a new design just because I don't see any reason for a new design at this point. Gun cotton, better shells, but also they might blow up in your face. Mexico and Spain are allied. Greece is trying to take Crete from the Ottomans. That did not go well for them in the first turn. Let's go back to our time-honored tradition of pissing off the Spanish. Are at negative 80 for the U.S. Let's piss off the Spanish some more. Okay. The German provoked us. Why would they do that? We still have a positive relationship with the Germans. 38. They're our closest pals. We're at a negative 20 for the Spanish, though. Also, you can see that monthly balance for the budget is, as the economy grows and the budget is increasing, it's kind of like, well, you're spending more on R&D. Great. No impact to your, to your bottom line. You're doing fine. Everybody's spending too much. Netherlands is now allied to Spain. Romania wants another cruiser. Sure. France is attacking the Ottomans again. Are they taking... Holy shit. They're trying to take southern Turkey? Or are they attacking a island? It looks like southern Turkey. Our shipyard expansion should be done soon. We could at least build a bigger battleship. The British are asking for significant financial aid for their short-term naval expenditures, which we can pay from our own funds. In return, a special trade agreement will increase our GDP in the long term. How much? They want 85 million? I don't have 85 million. That's a lot of money. Why would you possibly ask for an amount that would bankrupt me and get me fired? Sorry. Mines. I would gladly have given the money to the British to help my economy, but not at the expense of putting me $30 million in the red. That's the way you get fired for sure. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. As I go deaf in my ear. I think I have that setting too loud, at least for what I hear. All right, let's just get to the end of the year. That'll give us the bigger shipyards, and then we can figure out what we want to do at that point. 7-inch caliber for secondary guns. Brazil is allied to the Austro-Hungary. That's kind of funny. Bulgaria has been conquered by Romania. Wow. The following nations have lost their homeland. Well, good for us that we're allied to Romania. Maybe that'll give us a bigger trade deal or something. Okay. The dockyards are going to be done in a few months, I think. China and Italy improve relations. France has conquered Syria and the British Sudan. They are chewing up the sick man of Europe. They're like, they got Syria a little bit early. That seems like that would be a death blow to the Ottoman Empire if something like that happened at this point. Let's keep pissing the Spanish off. That's who I want to fight. They've got colonies I can go for. I really would love to take Mallorca. Not a profitable island, but it does increase our control over the Med. Aw, it was ignored and it hurt my personal prestige. Egypt has defeated the remains of the Ottoman Empire. That's actually historically correctest. The U.S. has conquered Chile. Egypt being quasi-independent of the British sweeping in and taking control. So the U.S. has taken Costa Rica. They've also taken Chile. My. Taking the Ottomans and getting Croatia would also be nice. All right. One more turn. Now we've got a huge monthly balance because we stopped constructing the new shipyards because we expanded. $5,000-ton heavy cruiser. Yeah. Romania wants 2 torpedo boats. Yes. France provoked us. Those jerks. Okay, so 13,000-ton max shipyards. I'm going to continue to expand it. We're not going to do a 2-year contract. That's 250. So actually it's way more. 4,800 tons. It does give you more tonnage, but I'm going to go on a 1-year contract just so I've got a little more flexibility. That'll increase it to 15,000 tons. Meanwhile, I don't know that a 5,000-ton heavy cruiser is going to do anything for me. I think maybe we need the 5,500 is what someone said in chat. It is a little bit bigger in there. You still don't have enough room for 2 funnels, though. So frustrating. You could do a large funnel. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense quite yet. Okay. What about a new battleship design? What's the experimental battleship? What's the benefit of it? Seems like it's got worse every stat. It's nice and wide, that's for sure. I don't know that my funnels care. Really? You can't fit any of those? Dual and thick. We're going to put a enhanced small tower in the front. Minimal rear tower. I'd say that's actually pretty decent fuel or engine efficiency right now. I wonder if there's a... low and wide. No bar bets yet. Centerline turrets. We could do a 12-incher. Get her more in line with what's out there. Our current ships are only 11 inches. Well, what's the point of secondary turrets if I can't... Why can't I fit 7-inch turrets on it? Too big? Ship is overweight. Wow. She wants to be 16,000 tons. I don't understand why I can't put any turrets here. Like, why would they not be able to shoot over the side? So it's kind of similar to my previous ship. Bigger secondary, or bigger case-made guns. Obviously overweight. We can solve that a few ways. Cut the speed down to 19 knots. It'll cut weight off a lot. Triple expansion should save us some weight. Compound armor should save us some weight. Got a little bit better. I don't need 3 inches of top armor in this era, I don't think. Okay. 3 inches of top armor seems absurd. I can also just reduce the bulkheads to many. Actually, by increasing the size, I may get more funnel space too. Dual and thick. Yeah. What? Is this legal? What's up with that? Much better engine efficiency now. I don't know why this game gets like glitchy for me anytime I try and do torpedoes. I find torpedoes on battleships can be useful, especially in this era. So ship's considerably overweight. Good pitch and roll. Pretty decent engine efficiency for a ship of this era. I don't know if having smoke this close to the main mast means anything. We could just go 18.5. That would be the standard speed of the main battle fleet. Okay. Mostly torpedoes can be useful just in finishing enemy ships off more quickly, I think. Is 8.5 inches thick enough? Probably not. Attempting a flash fire by reducing the barbette damage? Maybe. Or armor. All right. I think that's good. We're going to go standard shell size because if I go with heavy, it'll increase the weight considerably. It'll do more damage, though. I'll just go standard. All right, what are we going to call this class? Flash fire chance greater than 100%. Nah. I don't think the flash fire is actually... I think the armor we have is... It's still going to get you in a spot where most likely won't happen unless you're point blank range. I think. Who knows? It's not like I stripped the armor way down. Reduce the range. We'll call it the THG class. Why not? Why not put my name on the damn thing? Somehow, despite... She's only 8 million more. That's actually... We'll build 4 of the things. Gonna put me way in the red. Okay. We should also name the other ships in the squadron. There's the THG, the Butcher, just because that's my moniker. We'll name one after Newhauser, my mod. Don't worry, I'm sure it won't sink. And we'll name one the Tortuga after my podcast co-host. Congratulations. Let's kill the people we know. Or the ships of the people we know. All right. Someone was saying put 25,000 tons off a neutral country and there's a chance you can take it. I guess that would mean deploying a fleet off the Mediterranean, maybe the Central Med. Maybe we move a section of the main fleet down to cut. Does it have to be in the sea, though? I don't think it said it was overweight. Did it? No, doesn't say it's overweight. Surprising that engine efficiency is damn good. She's 2 tons underweight. There's a chance she could be overweight when she's built. They took Tripolitania, the French. They're not taking Benghazi or Tobruk. We could try and go for that. Let's move ships to the Central Med. Let's move them all. We're going to put you all to sea. Oh. We don't have enough. That's 58,000 tons. Penalties at the bottom. Or maybe we're running things too narrow. I don't see any. Fire chance 10%, flash fire chance 32%. 32% seems high. We don't have any fire control I didn't see. It's not a floating coffin. It's greatness. Greatness in a hull. You know, sometimes people are just scared of greatness. We're way in the red with building 4 battleships right now, but I'm fine with it. Our shipyards are like, oh my God, we've got work. Our steel mills are like, what? A Roman candle would be fitting. Okay. Argentina's launching a major offensive against Brazil. Okay. So does having my fleet here do anything for us? 75,000 tons. Maybe we can go to war with the Ottomans. The gun cotton. Well, you know, it's good explodes. It explode. It's explodey. You know, it's good. It's good for the gunpowder to be explodey. It's also bad for the gunpowder to be explodey. Romania would like to order 3 of the Gyoto-class light cruisers. Yeah. Plenty of room in the shipyards. Romania, you want to become your own little Balkan empire? I'm okay with that. As long as you keep buying ships from me. Huh. It's about that time, folks. It's time to go piss off Spain again. The United States was defeated by El Salvador. Poor America. They're almost at war with the U.S. Spain is 92%. I'd like to jump in on that war. Get some colonies myself before the U.S. takes them all. Yeah, the Chinese empire is a little OP in this game. Belgium and Germany are allied, lol. Von Schlieffen is either real happy or real confused. All right, Spanish relations get worse a little bit. The people of Algeria try to gain control of Algeria. Oh, not the part of French colonies. Chile signed a special alliance with Spain. Wait, I thought Chile was part of the United States. I'm confused. Is this like the Chilean government in exile? What do they have left? Who are they allied with? Okay. Chile has an island. Okay, so I mean historically or realistically many islands, but it's a separate province in the game. Good to know. Oh shit, I'm almost out of money. I might be out of money. At a press conference, journalists ask you a question about the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Fuck him. Okay. Let's go balance our books. What do I need to do here? I don't want light cruiser hulls. Slow down tech a little bit. No battles fought yet. One battleship class designed. The world is on fire, and we cruise on. Ooh, 13-inch guns. Venezuela and China are allied. Oh my goodness, it's real life. But kind of not really. All right. Palestine is rising up. reduce transport money a bit because we're at 200%. We could do that. $200% is the max. So if I go down to where it says 0%, like this, will that keep it at 200? I assume it will. Get back up to 60% tech budget. Should probably increase crew training at some point. Do we want to design a new cruiser maybe? Does a semi-armored cruiser count as a CA? Still counts as a CL. I don't understand that. Would this just be a protected cruiser? Or is that just the... Can carry mines. You only do one gun. I hate the cruiser designs. Oh. Yeah, exit. Someday or another. Argentina takes southern Brazil. Maybe I should move this fleet somewhere better. Although we are adjacent to Crete, the part of Libya that's not conquered that I would like. No, 2-inch gun Mark IIs. Canada's allied to Spain. Who would have guessed? This game is really passive. It doesn't seem to force you into war if you don't want it. All right. Well, I know we've only been going for about an hour now, guys, but I'm going to wrap up tonight. Obviously, you can probably hear it. I've got a cold. I've also got work tomorrow. I've got to do some things. But I think we will continue streaming this more regularly. Let me know if you want to see more of it. But that'll do it for tonight. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out. Bye-bye.